You are being lied to every single day. And worse, you are probably lying to yourself. From a young age, you were trained to trust what people say. But the truth is, human beings use words as a currency for survival and deception. You can tell someone you are the smartest person in the room, but your words might just be a total illusion. If you only listen to the words people use, you are walking around completely in the dark, vulnerable to toxic personalities and narcissists. But there is a hidden code. There is a second language out there that every single human is continually expressing. Up to 93% of our communication is completely nonverbal. Your body language accounts for 55% of the message, and your tone of voice makes up 38%. The actual words coming out of your mouth, they only matter a tiny 7%
We're about to
of the
dive
time.
deep into a story that touches the heart of why we're here tonight.
If you want to understand human behavior, you must learn to read this second language. Mastering it gives you an invisible advantage in life. It allows you to read any room, decode hidden motivations, and navigate complex social power structures effortlessly. As artificial intelligence continues to strip away routine cognitive jobs, these deeply irreplaceable human-to-human skills are about to become the most valuable currency on Earth. So, how do humans actually operate? The first psychological truth you need to accept is that everyone wears a mask to survive. Society forces people to create a version of themselves they hope will be accepted. But masks aren't perfect. They slip. Most people are acting in a play they didn't even write. When someone acts overly confident and dominant, it is usually just a costume meant to bury their deep-seated guilt or insecurity. Exaggeration is always a massive tell. The person loudly claiming they don't care what anyone thinks actually cares deeply. Extremism in any direction is just an imbalance masquerading as strength. Furthermore, people rarely speak from pure logic. They speak from their unhealed pain. Underneath every seemingly rational argument is a defense mechanism built to protect a past emotional wound. What someone hates and criticizes in others usually reveals the exact truth they are hiding within themselves. To truly read someone, you have to look into their childhood. Up to 90% of adults are walking around governed by what is called the childhood development triangle. As kids, we had to figure out 3 basic things: how to feel safe, how to make friends, and how to earn rewards. A child might learn to feel safe by shrinking down to be invisible, or they might learn to make friends by becoming a loud class clown. They pack these survival scripts into a backpack and carry them straight into adulthood. The quiet, terrified woman shrinking back in your boardroom is actually just an 8-year-old who got yelled at during dinner, operating on autopilot in a grown-up body.
This next story affects you directly, and I can tell you why I care so much about it.
If you want to decode these scripts, you have to stop asking direct questions and start observing the cracks in the mask. Instead of interrogating people, use a CIA-style technique called elicitation. Make a statement and let them correct you. Humans have an overwhelming psychological need to correct the record. Watch their eyes. A normal blink rate is one thing, but if someone's blink rate suddenly spikes to 70 blinks per minute, you are seeing severe hidden stress. If their blink rate drops to near 0, they are intensely focused, sometimes mimicking the traits of a psychopath locked onto prey. Pay attention to how people say goodbye, how they react to deadlines, and even the tone of their text messages. These tiny micro-behaviors expose massive truths about their inner narcissism and empathy.
That brings us to the question of the day.
But here is the single biggest insight into human behavior. We are run by our ancient mammalian brains. Your brain hasn't developed a single new wrinkle in the last 200,000 years. You cannot permanently influence human behavior using logic. You have to understand the fate model: focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. First, you must capture a person's focus, usually through novelty. Anything unexpected immediately hijacks the mammalian brain. Then you establish authority. We are hardwired to blindly follow authority figures. In the famous 1962 Milgram experiment at Yale, ordinary people shocked another human being with a lethal 250 volts simply because a tall man in a lab coat told them to continue. Next, you show them the tribe, what everybody else in the group is doing. Finally, you tie it all to an emotion. This is exactly how cult leaders, politicians, and massive corporations hack your mind. They don't force you. They use micro-compliance. They make you agree to 50 tiny, meaningless things, completely shifting your identity right under your nose. Once they get you to make a small public statement about who you are as a person, cognitive dissonance takes over. Your brain hates the discomfort of your actions not matching your beliefs, so it forces your future behavior to align perfectly with your new identity.
Before we continue, I want to acknowledge the gravity of the situation.
Why does
Our thoughts are
understanding
with everyone
all of this
affected by this
dark
outcome.
psychology and human behavioral wiring actually matter? Because right now, we are living in a terrifying epidemic of loneliness and division. Social media algorithms manipulate our dopamine and feed us curated realities that make us feel entirely inadequate. We are surrounded by artificial, performative behaviors, and people are utterly starving for real, authentic human connection. When you learn to read the second language of human behavior, you escape the matrix of manipulation. You gain the ultimate social intelligence, allowing you to broker peace, build deep trust, and achieve incredible success in your career. But most importantly, learning these psychological truths builds radical, unshakable empathy. When you finally understand that the loud, arrogant bully is actually just terrified of being forgotten, and the overperformer is just begging for love, you stop reacting with hate. You stop judging. You realize that beneath
Hold on.
the masks,
We need to take a
we
closer
are
look at the
all
facts
basically
before
the
drawing
same,
any
hiding
conclusions.
the exact same insecurities. You are not learning to read people so you can manipulate them or gain leverage. You are learning to read them so you can stop being fooled and start offering grace.
That wraps up our broadcast
The next
for
time you
today.
walk
Thanks
into a
for joining
room,
us, and we'll see
stop
you next time.
listening to the empty
Words are
words
meaningless
people are
and
saying.
turn to dust.
Watch the mask. Look for the cracks. Listen to the silence. Because behavior is just biography. And behind every adult you meet is a child still waiting to feel safe.